is another inspirational story. So there's so many out there, man. And I just thought we just got to keep pumping, man. Keep pumping, not quitting. I'm not a quitter. If I quit a long time ago when they told me I should have quit, I wouldn't be doing this interview with you right now. It's so beautiful. We have so many beautiful stories, man, and they're universal too. It's just hope, dreaming. It's okay to dream. Go for them. When you have those dreams, therefore they mean something. Do it.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Pop Culture Planet, a video podcast centered around diverse voices and representation in Hollywood. I'm your host, Kristen Maldonado, film and TV critic, champion for inclusion, and content creator. And today I am so excited that we are joined by Emilio Rivera for Hispanic Heritage Month, Latinx Heritage Month, to talk about his career. We dive into Sons of Anarchy, Mayans MC, On My Block, even Flamin' Hot. I apologize if there is a little bit of glitching or delay. Technology people, enjoy this interview. I'd love to go back a little bit, to the beginning and just hear a little bit about what your relationship is like with your Latino heritage.
I'm Chicano to the max, what I'm saying? Brown and proud is me, you dig what I'm saying? And always been that way, even though sometimes Chicano was a derogatory word. And but I wore it proudly, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm Mexican American, Chicano American, but with a Mexican descent. So I wear it probably to this day. I come from the '60s, man. So we were, back in those days they called us wetbacks, this and that, and all through the '70s it was like a normal word, and so I had a lot of fights because of that. You know what I mean? And it's changed a lot now. But I went through some of that racism, you know what I mean? So, but always proud, man. I was always proud.
I'd love to hear about where you found your love of entertainment and how you kind of discovered your love of acting.
I got clean sober 31 years ago, and my mentor told me what is the thing that made you happy in your life. Now, I was a good athlete, so I had a lot of great moments as far as baseball goes, but the one thing that I could really say made me happy is that when I was in third grade, I stuttered a lot. I was a big stutterer. I still stutter, but I mean, that was very bad, and really bad. And I did a play, Rumpelstiltskin. I played the lead. I don't know how I got the part. I really don't. Maybe the teacher felt sorry for me. I don't know. And because I stuttered, I was like the outcast kid. But I remember I did the play, and I didn't stutter at all. And I remember everybody. I didn't stutter because I knew what I was going to say, and everybody applauded me, and that was like a big moment in my life. So when I told my mentor that, he said, "Well, then you should try acting." If that's the only thing that goes back, and there had been a lot of things in my life till then that I could have brought up, but that's the one thing that stood out. And I started taking, street comedy, doing comedy. I was changing who I was because I was a street guy. I was kind of rough on the edges. And so he had to humanize me to let me do what I do now. And to be around people, to have people actually laugh at me, because he could never laugh at Emilio, the guy in the street, but now I was able to, to be part of society, and it just worked out, man. It really did, and so it changed my life. It's saved my life, it's a beautiful thing.
Wow, that is an incredible story. And I mean, that teacher that you had in third grade must have just seen the potential that you have now, back then.
Or either that, or he just felt sorry for me, because I was this kid with big ears, and when it was cold, the other bullies would come and flick my ears, it really hurt, and then when I'd come home, crying, and my dad would, would he would spank me and say, you don't come crying, men don't cry, and so I went back and I became a real roughneck. I became worse than the bullies. I started beating up the bullies. You know what I mean? And then and then acting allowed me to cry. So I held in all these tears all these years, and let them out with these, and but now I just let it out the way normal people do. And so and it feels a lot better.
I'm curious, if you remember what your first audition experience was like, and have you dealt with being stereotyped in the roles that you've take it on?
You know, I'm just glad to be a type. You know, being a type has gotten me into other doors. You know, so when people say, "Oh, don't be typecast," I say, "No, hopefully you're a type because that'll get you in the door and I'll do the work." You know, I remember my first audition was for a play at Glendale College where I was studying, and even though you were part of the group, you still had to audition. You know, and I remember I did this audition for one of my favorite movies called Runaway Train, and I killed it, man. Anyway, so I got into the director's face, and I did what I did, and I got hired on the spot. But he told me, please don't ever get in people's faces the way you did with me. He goes, you scared the shit out of me. I go, well, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? And he looked at me and goes, you're right. So I continued that process whenever I had to do. Back in the day, it was you'd go into a room and they say, do you have a dramatic monologue? And I did. And then they say, you have a sad monologue, and I did, and a comedic monologue. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of fun, man, because you got to actually direct yourself. Because you went in that room, it was just you. So it was kind of cool. I dug it. So that was my first audition. My director said that I scared the shit out of him, which was also, the guy was a scary guy. So it was good.
Yeah, you definitely embodied that role then.
But early on, when I had my first agent, he wanted to change me. He wanted me to shave my mustache. This is where I started. And then he made me shave them out and grow my hair out. And he wanted me to be the next A. Martinez or Jimmy Smits. And and I was working. I steadily stood working. But after about 3 years, I said, I don't want to be Jimmy Smits. He's already there. A. Martinez is already there. Let me be Emilio Rivera. And you know what? There was only one Emilio Rivera, and it worked out, man. He did. I mean, here we go. It's been nice. Because and that's why I tell all actors, just be you. There's only one you. You can see, we can see you're imitating somebody. So don't imitate nobody because we can read it. Especially casting directors and actors. We see this stuff. So yeah, just be you.
I love that, being your most authentic self.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious, do you remember like a time when you saw a Latino character or story on screen and how that impacted you? Like, one of the first times maybe that you saw yourself, and felt represented?
When I saw La Bamba with Lou Diamond Phillips, and that was really cool. And actually, I wasn't into acting then. I would just say I've been a lowrider all my life. That's part of my culture that we like lowriders. And I was in Elysian Park cruising. And I was in my lowrider, it's an old bomb, 1952, at 15 at the time. And they saw him, they go, hey, man, we want to use your car for a movie, And he goes, I go, okay, how much you paying? That was the first thing I asked, and they go, paying 150 a day. I go, that's pretty good. This is back in the 80s, And then he goes, it's called La Bamba. I go, no, man, we call these cars La Bomba. He goes, no, we're doing La Bamba, the movie of Richie Valens. I go, yeah, for sure. And what happened was when we got there, I got there the next morning. They were going to use my car, but then they had too many cars. You know what I'm saying? So I remember they go, but you want to be in the movie? Can you be a background? Because your look is timeless. Your look is from that time. Because I've always looked the same, And I go, yeah, sure, So I sat down, and in the movie you could see me. Is actually I didn't mean to do that. It just happened that way. And I saw Isam Morales and Lieutenant Phillips on the set, and I go, hey, man, that's pretty cool. But I still took another 6 years before I got started into the acting. But yeah, man, when I saw the Bamba, it made me real proud, man. Because Richie Valens, I used to hear Richie Valens in my house growing up. My mom and dad, and you'd be dancing to La Bamba. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that is incredible.
Right? It's true. It's just a full circle, man.
You've been playing the role of Marcus Alvarez for almost over a decade in Sons of Anarchy and Mayans MC. What has that experience been like for you?
Yes, one of the best experiences. I've been blessed to work a lot over the years in many projects, a lot of great projects. Some not so great, but still, nonetheless, it's been a lot of projects. After a while, it becomes a job. It's a job. You got to wake up early in the morning. You got to learn your lines. But Sons of Anarchy and more so now with the Mayans, it's like brought a whole new. I'm having so much fun. It's not a job no more. It's more like I want to go to work. I want to go to work. It's kind of cool, man. And it's all around my. It's all around That's one thing that Kurt Sutter and Elgin James had promised us that there were going to be just as many, so many Latinos, in the show. And so you go to the show, man, and you have just as many in front of the camera as you do behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool, man. They put a lot of us to work.
I love that. I love that, this show is really giving a voice to Latinos both on screen and off screen. That is so incredible to hear and to
Yes,
see. And I think that's
yes.
how you get those like really authentic stories too, because you have people, bringing that to life who know that experience.
No, and it's good because sometimes if what's so cool about this is that they say there's a word you're not pronouncing right in Spanish. You can just look to the right or left, and there'll be there someone to help you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool, man.
You're one of my favorite characters on My Block, which the final season is coming out. I feel like that's a little bit of a different role for you than we've seen you for in terms of working with like a younger crew.
Yeah, it was very strange in the beginning, and a lot of times we'd be filming me, and I feel so dumb. Like I would cut myself. Like I would walk off the camera, and I would go, "Are you serious? You want me to do that?" They go, "No, it's funny. It's funny. You don't understand. It's funny." And so I always had like a little complex when I was doing that character. But then, of course, the second season I picked it up. Okay, that's cool. I get it. And I got his timing, and it's the best thing, man. I mean, because I already had the how do you say, the 18 to 60 crowd, but now I got the kids. It's really weird. Like I go to the school, I go pick up my son from school, and even since when he was in junior high school, and the kids they freak out. It's really a trip, man. It's different. It's weird because the kids they get giddy. They don't know how to hold their emotions. Like when they see somebody, like you see an adult, they know how to be cool. Hey, hey, there he is. Cool. Hey, what's going on? But the kids, they start jumping and down, up and down and stuff. It's different. But it's cool though.
Absolutely. I mean, you have such a funny role where like you're hanging out with all these gnomes, and I think what's really fun is that this season we finally get to kind of learn the background of them a little bit more.
Right,
What is
right,
that
right.
playing off of these, these goofy kind of inanimate objects, and also Brett Gray. I feel like you have a lot of scenes with him as well.
Brett Gray is our modern day Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, all put into one. This guy is such a talent. I am so proud to be working with him. And we you guys just see what you see, but when we're on set and they say, "Can you try it this way?" He's like that. "Can you try it this way, Brett?" Like that, and totally different and so funny. I have the best time with that kid. I mean, young adult. He's the best. We've had some great times, man. I mean, they're all great, but me and him, as you know, we're always together, on the as scene partners. It's
Absolutely.
so much fun.
It's so funny to think who is Juanita gonna choose by the end.
I know, right? I know. Me and Juanita, man. I don't know, man. We were hoping for this. I was hoping for this season because they were trying to. Well, I can't say much about anything, but yeah, well, we know it's our final season. But I'm really, I was really happy to be part of that.
I'd love to play like a little mini game, Real Rewind, where we just kind of like talk about a few of your past projects, maybe share a fun fact
Sure.
or maybe something we didn't know before. The first one I wanted to bring up was Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty. Fun fact about that. Remember all the thugs in Bruce Almighty? We all had our own demise. My demise was I had tattoos on my chest, scorpion tattoos, and Jim Carrey beats me up with his mouth, boom, boom, and I'm like going like this, and he punches me, and I fly in the air. Now when I land on the floor, he goes, "Even your tattoos betray you," and all my scorpions on my chest come alive and start eating me, and they cut it all out, man.
That would have been so
Yes.
cool.
No, it was so cool. And you know what? It wasn't even in the script, but Jim Carrey, Tom Shadyac was directing that. And Jim said, "Here, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it myself." And we did it. And we did it. And it just didn't come out. It just didn't make the cut. Every thug in that alley had their own beat down, and
Oh my
it got cut out.
gosh.
We were there like for 6 weeks. This that scene right there was 6 weeks long.
We need a petition for them to release that and like some kind of deleted scenes because I would love to see that.
At least the back. I know. It was the back. It was so cool. It was so cool, man. And Jim Carrey, by the way, is one of the nicest guys. I remember I had to come back for an extra day of shooting, but I was already booked to go to TJ to go do a show called The Shield, and we worked it out, and Jim was so happy that I did that. He goes, and then he offered me his helicopter. How do you say, his helicopter pilot to fly me to TJ. He goes, brother, thank you for coming back. I want my helicopter. I go, bro, thank you, Jim. But I don't like helicopters. You know what I'm talking about? So I kindly, respectfully turned it down. And plus, the Shield already had a car waiting for me to send me over there, so it was good. But that was very cool, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's wild. It's
Right?
just a helicopter.
That's cool, right?
Oh, good.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, man. I got stories, man. I got stories from everywhere I've worked on. I have something, you know. I have a good story.
How about for Z Nation?
Z Nation, had fun. I love zombies, you know. What it was with Z Nation, you know, sometimes we work 12, 14-hour days, and it would be dusk, right? And I'd be in my chair drinking a cup of coffee, tired, you know, because we're trying to stay up for the next scene. And then all of a sudden, like I would see like these things walking in the woods. I go, oh shit, there's a zombie, you know. But I forgot what was a zombie show, you know what I'm talking about. But of course, there's zombies, you know. But because of background, people will just be like wandering off. You would think, and you're half asleep, and then you see these zombies come out of nowhere, and then you forget that you're just doing the show. Yeah. So it's kind of trippy sometimes, you know.
I'd love to hear about Venom.
Venom, you know, I gotta tell you, man, you know, so I get a call from my agent, and they told me they want to see you for a movie named Venom. So I go, okay, and then and they go, can you come and read? And I said, well, they sent me the sides, and then it was only like about 4 or 5 pages, you know. And I say, you know, just tell them make an offer. You know, I just, you know, I'm not going to go read for 5 pages. And they go, you know, they really want to see you. I go, yeah. Well, then if they want to see me, you know, Tom hire me. And they said, oh, you know. So they go back and forth, and I go, the movies with Tom Hardy, who I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy. You know what I'm saying? I go, okay. I go, well, are my scenes going to be with Tom Hardy? They go, yes, all of them are with Tom Hardy. I go, then I will go read. You know what I'm saying? And then I went to go read, and right before I left the parking lot, I was already hired. You know, so it was pretty cool, man. Then when I got to Venom, me and Tom Hardy really hit it off really cool. We had more things in common than I thought. You know, great dude, man. He really is. So he's a solid one. You know.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's awesome. And for the last one, I
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit about the high school music video that you did with Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne.
Oh wow, you remember that one? Yeah. You know, that was I have you know, I just one thing I can't say is that Nicki Minaj, when I got there, was I'm not too much into the rap game. You know, I'm more like an old soul. I like oldies R&B. You know, and so we did that gig, and it was an offer, 50 Cent video, just a little bit, and I'm Mob Deep. So he calls me up, hey bro, I want you to this video. They asked me, I go, cool, you know, and so when I got there, I just could say, you know, Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne and Birdman, they came up and took me in open arms. They really did. It was pretty cool. And then they gave me it was and yeah, and it was by doing that video, I didn't understand. You don't understand how many followers I got the next day. It was a trip. It was an eye opener, you know. And it was a good song too. I think it was a high school. It was called High School, right? Yeah, Lil Wayne steals my wife, Nicki Minaj. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yes, so good. And yes, like you said, those other two music videos with 50 Cent and Mob Deep, iconic, man, iconic. So
I know, right? I know. You never know how they're going to go. And there's some of the people, like I see people post them all the time. So it's pretty cool, man. Yeah.
I mean, I know you're working on a lot of things, but is there anything else that you're working on that you can share?
I can. Okay. Well, of course, going back to the Mayans, I just finished. We were doing a month of shooting. You know, Eva Longoria directed us in a film called Flaming Hot. I get to
Yes.
play the father, you know, the guy who invented, Richard Montanez invented the Flaming Hot Cheetos. Well, I get to play his father, you know, for 35 years. So it was a lot of, how you say, transformation, you know, I played 35 years since 1966 to 1996. It was pretty cool. Um,
Wow.
I just finished we're starting up our fourth season of the Family Business, again with Ernie Hudson. And then I just finished a show called The Brothers Garcia, which is coming out on HBO Max. HBO Max. We're up in Cancun filming that, and of course on my blog October 4th.
I didn't
Which one?
realize that you were going to be in the HBO Max Brothers Garcia show.
Oh yeah. It's a pretty cool. I play a shaman priest. It's really cool. Yeah, it's a reboot from 20 years ago. Now it's pretty cool. It's a funny show. Very smart, written by Jeff Valdez.
Oh my gosh, yes, I'm so excited for that one. I grew up watching that show, so I'm very
Hello?
excited to see you in another, fun, family-friendly, show.
Oh,
You
cool.
you're just expanding the audience from 0 to 100.
A whole variety of characters, which is fun. It's going to be fun. The one I'm really proud of right now, I mean, I'm proud of all the work we've been doing, but the the Flaming Hot with Eva Longoria, um, and Jesse John Garcia plays the actual Richard Montañez. He did some beautiful work, man, and we have a lot of beautiful scenes together. It was a lot of yeah. You guys are gonna like it, man. You really are. The film is his father and my father were alike a lot, and so some of the stuff we said on screen, I wish I would have said to my father when he was alive, or he would have said to me. So it was very, very, how do you say, very emotional and very personal. And you're gonna see it on the screen, I'm sure.
Going off of that, I feel like what's so exciting about Flaming Hot is like, we haven't really gotten to see many like stories of like Latino inventors and like Latino creators in that kind of way.
Right.
And so, I'm curious to you, like, what, just like about the importance of Latino representation and how we show that. And do you feel like you have like a need to tell those types of stories?
We have to hear those stories because, especially this, the Richard Montañez story he comes from the hood, man. He came. It don't matter where you come from. You can always do something with yourself. It's just about not quitting. Have a drive to do. Believe. You have to believe, man. You dig? And and it's yeah, but it's getting better now. I mean, finally, I'm seeing. I see some of the scripts that are coming in, and they're writing about us, man. And it's not about always the bad guy. And I'm not going to knock the bad guy. The bad guy has, you know, you have to have a bad guy when there's a story about that. When there's crime drama, you got to have that guy. You got to have this and that. But just the stories, man, there's so many beautiful stories out there. Right now, I'm doing a documentary myself. I'm filming as a director, doing a documentary of a friend of mine who we grew up in the same neighborhood. Who I can't talk about it because I wanted to be a surprise to everybody. But it's another inspirational story. So there's so many out there, man. And I just thought we just got to keep pumping, man. Keep pumping, not quitting. I'm not a quitter. If I quit a long time ago when they told me I should have quit, I wouldn't be doing this interview with you right now. It's so beautiful. We have so many beautiful stories, man, and they're universal too. It's just hope, dreaming. It's okay to dream. Go for them. When you have those dreams, therefore they mean something. Do it.
I love to hear that you're directing a story like that. That's so exciting because you're getting someone else's voice out there. That's incredible.
Yeah, and I really, and it's personal because he's a friend of mine we grew up together, and people know it. Maybe they say 100,000 people know it, but I need the world to know it. Because I seen it. I was there. I mean, I wasn't there when it happened, but I mean, I went to go visit him. And I remember what a strong person, and we still hang out. To this day. What a that's a badass right there. Yeah. So that we got a great
Well, I
crew.
cannot
When he
wait.
shot it, my wife is writing some of the stuff. We did a lot of interviews. We put in some work, man.
Oh, that's so exciting. So you're collaborating with your wife as well?
Yeah, she's a smart one. I'm just the face. I go do the work. She puts everything together for me. Yeah, it's always she's my backbone, man. She really got me. She's the one that tells me, don't do this, don't say that. And my agent, of course, as well. So yeah, I gotta have that. Otherwise, maybe it wouldn't be so good. I speak too. I say something sometimes that I shouldn't sometimes. So they keep me in check.
Absolutely. And now I'm curious, are there any, creatives or actors or directors that are Latinos that you feel like are just doing amazing work that you like, maybe want to work with or want to see more from them, or just want to like shout them out?
I'm in a great spot. I get to work with some of the people that I admire. I get to work with Eddie Olmos, who I've been a big fan of since Zoot days. And I get to collaborate with him. I I just came back. I spent a lot of time with Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo, he and I had almost a similar similar kind of upbringings and stuff, and we were sharing pathways. And George Lopez, he's been a big pioneer for me too as well. I mean, I was still doing comedy because he's one of the guys I looked up to. He was only actual face that I remember. Besides Paul Rodriguez, but George was a whole different. I like Paul, but I like George. He's been more of an inspiration to me as far as comedy goes as well.
Oh, that's awesome. So many great people. Is there anything else that you want to
Yeah.
share about what you're working on, or about, what it means to you to, be representing during Hispanic Heritage Month?
I'm very proud to represent my heritage, and the people are proud of me because I get these messages all the time. I will always represent us with a loyalty, dignity, and proud. And that's everything. The way I was brought up. I bring everywhere I go with that, and I will never let you down that way. I guarantee you. And I bring the pride of family, and family to me is number one. That's Latinos, man, Chicanos, Mexicanos, whatever you want to call us this year. That's us.
Well, I want to thank you so much for your time, and I want to say congratulations on everything you're working on. Literally, huge fan of yours. The things you're working on now, all the things you've just said you're going to work on, I'm like, these are all the things I'm most excited to watch. So I cannot wait, and just congratulations on everything.
I thank you so much. I thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You have a beautiful day, huh? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. You too. If you like this one, you can check out more Pop Culture Planet right over here or on your favorite podcast listening platforms. See ya.